Hello, thank you everybody for listening. And I just want to get right into this. And you're looking at a photo of a young lady. Her name is Yvette Carnell, and she is the founder of BreakingBrown.com, and very influential. She talks about politics in the black community or things that involve black politics. And also, she was with a man by the name of Dr. Boyce Watkins, and it's Your World, Your Black World News.com. If I'm not mistaken, a photo of him will come up soon. But I just want to get into the comments that she made. It was a video that I was looking at. I didn't look at the whole thing from beginning to finish, but I will. It was an hour and 46 minutes. 46 minutes and 7 seconds long. Monique, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Oprah, and the social engineering of Hollywood. Now, this video was made May 17th. Very, very good content. The only thing that I have a discrepancy with from the beginning portion of the video is when Yvette Carnell started to talk about black gay issues. And so she was really making a comment about Lee Daniels, because Lee Daniels is a producer movies, and he's very well known in Hollywood, and he's a black gay male. And he made a comment which I wasn't in agreement with, and I agree with Yvette Carnell on this, that he shouldn't have said. He said that black women or black females, there are so many of them that were in the I believe it's like it must have been like a gay man's clinic or whatever, and that there's a large percentage of those women that had contracted HIV, AIDS, and Lee Daniels made the comment that black males just can't come out. Now I have to agree with him on that. Yvette Carnell, I can talk about the gay community personally, so let's just leave it at that. Okay, this is Antoinette 70. I have a channel. I'm not as big as you, and I'm not as big as the other ones, but I'm calling you out, but in a mild sense, not to pull your card in a negative way. But I can tell you thus far that I agree with Lee Daniels in that sense, in that tone, that black males cannot come out. It's harder for them. Being black and gay is hard. It is much harder. I think I've done videos previous to this one, and like when you see Queen Latifah and her coming out as a lesbian black female, it's like, oh, people are like, oh, that's not a surprise, but it's not as embraced by the black community as a whole as is Ellen DeGeneres. You'll have black people that support Ellen DeGeneres, and they'll support her shows. They talk about her. It's like none of the lesbian thing comes up. She's white. So it's looked at in a whole nother perspective. When it has to do with black females, black males that are gay or lesbian, it is a whole nother ball game altogether entirely. Our own culture does not receive us well. So yes, I did say that. So I'm just saying that if you are not a lesbian yourself, you can't speak on this issue. Or if you're not in the gay community, you cannot speak on that issue to know how it feels to walk in the shoes of a gay person and be treated by your own people with your own skin color hateful and viewed as demoralizing or with a lack of morals and respect. Even though you might be a citizen, you might be a voter, you might be somebody that takes care of your family, you're a provider, and you're a good person at heart, but you're not looked at that. It's because of whom you want to have a relationship with, who you want to date. You don't know what that jacket feels like until you wear it. And if you don't have that jacket on you, you can't speak on that. So I just wanted to give you that bit of information right there. I have to agree that Lee Daniels is right. It's harder for the males to come out because we come from a culture. If you're talking about black culture and black politics, let's put it out there like it is. we come from a culture that teaches masculinity and femininity for women and masculinity for men. And if you are with other males, something must be wrong with you, and you're a punk, and you're all these negative names all up and down the list. And the same goes for a lesbian, black woman of color. If you are with other females, you're called names and you're belittled and you're bashed to death, even more so. And a lot of times in the gay community, there's a whole nother world. Okay, there's racial stereotypes. Some white gays will distance themselves from black gays. There is some of that goes on. Some people that have money, the haves and the have-nots, it happens even within the gay community. Everybody is not synonymous. So that's a whole nother several videos. So that's a whole nother topic that you're speaking on that you have no knowledge of. So I just have to let you in on that. So being black and gay is hard. It is hard. And then if you're male, oh my God, please. What did they say? Miss me with that. You do not know what that jacket feels like. So he is right. And there are a lot of black women who are coming up with HIV because they are with these men. They've been pressured to be in these relationships because of their family, because they have so much pressure. And then some of them have already started families with these women. So it's hard to break away from those relationships. And then when you've got all this social pressure in your own community, your black community, to fit in, to blend in, and to hide who you really are because of the stigma behind it, and then losing your family, you do not know what that feels like, Yvette Carnell. So I'm just telling you. But anyway, and you mentioned something about James Baldwin. Okay, he was a political figure back in the days. He's a gay black man. He wrote books, the whole shebang. So I know you mentioned him in your video as well, but he fought for rights of colored people. He was at the forefront. There were many gay people that were of color at the forefront of black civil rights, but you never heard about who they really were in terms of the lifestyle. They made them look like, oh, okay, they talked about all the positiveness, but they didn't talk about their personal lives until you didn't get that until like later at coming up. Like people didn't get that until later. Oh, he was gay. Oh, Langston Hughes was gay. Oh, Bessie Smith was a lesbian. Oh, Harlem Renaissance had an embracing of art with gay black males and females. Oh, they just told you the surface information about these individuals back in the day. They didn't give you the whole 411 on who these people were, that they were educated or self-educated, that these people, they wrote novels, they wrote books, they participated in paintings and arts and poetry, and all these people back in the Harlem Renaissance, all that stuff was hidden. So yes, there is this deep-seated hatred, loathing of black gay males and black lesbian females within our own community, and we need to break those stereotypes and those barriers. That is the reason why we can't move forward. I know that you're saying that everybody doesn't feel that way. That's true. Everybody doesn't feel that way, but the dissent, you mentioned that. You said, oh, there might be indifference. Oh, you live your life, I'll live mine. But think about it in the workplace. If you're a lesbian, or if you can't hide who you are, it just shows up because your demeanor, your mannerisms, even if you don't announce who you are, people treat you a whole lot different. It's the same thing as a person of color dealing with white people who do not want to work with you, or they don't have any black friends, they don't have any socialization with black people other than the workplace. So when they're encountered by somebody that is black, they act a whole nother way. We know how that feels. So it's the same thing in the gay or lesbian community. When somebody has another person that they want to have a relationship with, and you're with people that are hetero, or they have a sensitivity issue or homophobic, they treat you a whole nother thing. They may not want to sit next to you, or they may ask you like open-ended questions that don't make any sense, things that are embarrassing. They may even bring up marriage. and try to find out, do you date? Knowing they can see a gay person in front of them, they can't come out and ask you, oh, by the way, are you gay? Because they don't want to get hurt or offended or piss you off. So they can't be bold enough to be like, oh, by the way, are you gay? Or something like that. It's because they don't want to come off like that, because they know straight away they could get fired, or they could maybe you'll cuss them out. But we know that this is happening. Okay, now ever since Obama was in office, and he helped to bring about and catapult marriage equality, that whole thing, yeah, that was a stepping stone. But let me tell you, just like what happens in the black community and any other social group that has had disadvantages and things like that from historical past, it's the same with the gay lesbian community. But now on top of that, you're not only a person of color, you're a person that is gay or lesbian or transgender. Okay, but now you're not only fighting the system, but you're also within your own culture. You're fighting the oppression that you're triply oppressed or doubly oppressed. So you wouldn't know what that is like unless you are walking in the shoes of a person that is, or you know somebody, or somebody in your family, or you have maybe you know somebody personally that is gay, or an LGBTQ person of color. So yes, that's why you see these books. Why are so many black men on the download? That tells you why right there. So yes, I have to agree with Lee Daniels. Yeah, it is hard for black males to come out and say, oh, by the way, I'm gay or I'm bisexual. No, they can't honestly just come out. Some have. Some have. Not everybody is fortunate to make a bunch of money like RuPaul and do drag queen, drag race, and all that. But I'm just telling you, and Lee Daniels, those are like your rich gay queens. That's what they say in the gay world, or in the gay lesbian world. But everybody, it doesn't have it like that. Everybody is not like uh like Jenner. You know, everybody can't just go and get a bunch of plastic surgery and get themselves transformed. So yeah, you're going to see some people that look like kind of like, oh wow, they have issues with hormones and all this kind of stuff. They look sideways or whatever because they're not getting the hormones, or they're not getting their shots, or whatever. They're not getting the counseling they need. They've been kicked out. Now they have to resort to going on the street and try to make some money because they're trying to keep getting their hormone shots and stuff. You don't know what that life is like. So before you speak on an issue that you have no knowledge of, don't talk about it unless you, like you say, you do some research. Well, you needed to do more research in that area. That I personally know. So that's what I'm saying. But again, with that being said, I think there does need to be some more vocalization. There does need to be more people of color that are in that community speaking out, and I would probably say that I'm more like an advocate for that. But once again, I'm not like really popular and everything and big time like you and Dr. Boyce Watkins and all these other people. I'm not trying to seek all of that, but I'm just being straightforward and honest. And if you do ever hear this video, I'm not saying it against you to say anything that, to make you feel like, oh wow, but I just wanted to open your mind to another side of how this is, because it is hard. It is really hard. I will say this. I personally have dealt with some issues where, sometimes when you go to the workplace, it's like people ask you a little crazy questions. Why don't you just come out and ask me what you really want to ask me? But a lot of times they won't do it. They don't got the balls to do it. So, with that being said, I like to say I enjoy a lot of you guys' content. I think it's good, and I want to backtrack or digress. I think it's good, or healthy conversation for African Americans, black people, people of color in general, and then that could include anybody that isn't white. I'm not trying to just exclude the white people from chiming in on some of the things that they've heard. Maybe they might be listening and they might be interested in some of these issues, or maybe you're like, oh, whatever, that's not my community or whatever. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, and I put in here this example. You see all these white men, they're gay. They're probably like home a lot of them are homeowners big time. They work corporate, they have wives, they have families, and that community seems like it's more embracing, but in a sense is they might be hiding it, but it's a whole nother ball game, a whole nother ball game. And it seems like it's more well accepted. I'm not saying that's a good thing, quote unquote, but what I'm saying is there is a whole nother community when you talk about LGBTQ people when it comes to color and race. There is there is no synonymity with that whole community. You even get racism. Sometimes white gays will discriminate black gays. So that's a whole nother video altogether in and of itself. So when you get the hate from your own culture and you know that within this community you're discriminated because you're black, but now with your own black people because you happen to be gay or lesbian, you're discriminated or you're hated on because oh they don't like your lifestyle or they think oh you're gonna try to turn them out. You've heard that term, turn them out or turn them gay or lesbian, or like they have this homophobic view of you. They think you're gonna put something on them, a spell on them or something like that and cause them to be like that. Yeah, there needs to be much dialogue about the whole situation. So it's a fallacy, a myth. But see, if they knew more about it and did their research, then there wouldn't be so much ignorance. And that's what it is. It's about learning and education and trying to open your mind to the the new adventures that are out there that you might have not have opened your mind to before because you're afraid. There's a lot of fear. And it's the same thing like with people of color, like when you try to go to get a job or you try to go to get educated and you go to an institution and there's not that many people that look like you there, you have this fear. There's a fear in you, and then there's a fear with the people that are not used to being around people that don't speak the same language or don't do the same things, quote unquote, think that oh you do, oh those people, we've heard those terms, they, them, those people. Oh those people. So I just wanted to leave you that with that information. But anyway, thanks for listening and I appreciate it. I really enjoy the content that you all put out because we do need more shows like this and we do need some more support in the black community, and maybe that would be a positive. Thank you.